Hey guys, I'm Nick and welcome back to the channel. Well, today we're talking about Star Trek Lower Decks, Season 3, Episode 9, entitled Trusted Sources. This was probably not the most exciting or funny episode we've had this season. It was fine, but it wasn't mind-blowing by any stretch of the imagination. It was we had a bit of a callback to a past Next Generation episode. We had a journalist visiting the ship, doing some interviews. We had Mariner reassigned, but the story was okay, but it didn't really kind of go anywhere special. And to be quite honest, we didn't really get any, cool cameos or callbacks or anything to any great extent. So this was probably one of those episodes that just sort of potentially fell a little bit flat. But we're going to go through the episode and have a look at the Next Generation episode that it referred to, Picard's first contact, and obviously the Cerritos' second contact for this planet, and talk about the episode in general. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Sci-Finatics yet, please do so. Click on that big red subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest Star Trek news on YouTube. And before we get into this week's review, free shipping in the merch store this week. So check out my merch store where you can pick up all the t-shirts and hoodies and mugs and caps and everything and be shipped out to you at no cost at all. So free shipping, take advantage of it this week until Sunday. Okay, so firstly in this episode of Lower Decks, we see the Cerritos heading back to the planet of Onara. Now, Onara was the planet, and this is a pretty obscure Next Generation episode. I barely remember this one. It was so long ago and so kind of, I guess, one of those episodes that nothing really that exciting happened in it, so it was a bit forgettable. I guess this sort of Lower Decks episode, probably falls into the same category. It was Symbiosis, Season 1, Episode 22. We had the Onara and the Brecker, and there was some drug addiction thing going on there, and people had like weird abilities because of the drugs they were on, and they were doing kind of lightning grips on people, and I don't really remember anything much about this episode at all. It was one of those kind of, later in the end of the season episodes from the very first season of Next Gen. Didn't really do anything too special. So it was one of those ones that you really go, geez, what the hell? I got to really look this one up. It was a pretty obscure episode, but it was kind of cool to hear them talking about Picard's first contact, what happened, the fact that he just sort of, showed up and they left, and how they're sort of were kind of a bit dissing on Picard for just sort of letting them go after the whole first contact that he established, and it has never been followed up since. So there's a few years have obviously passed since Season 1 of Next Generation, and these guys have been left to their own devices. Meanwhile, we've got a journalist on the Cerritos doing a bit of a story for Federation News Network on the ship and second contact situations, that sort of stuff. And again, I kind of thought, okay, well, we might be getting some, some funny interview situations here, interesting expose kind of, 60-minute style kind of thing. But we sort of didn't really kind of, obviously we didn't really see that much about what was going on with the journalist. Naren and the rest of the lower deckers were trying to get interviews, but they were sort of, pushed away because obviously Freeman wanted all of the best officers talking on camera, but they kind of all incriminated themselves and, inadvertently dished gossip of the wrong type. And the journalist kind of did a bit of a hatchet job on the Cerritos crew, courtesy of not the lower deckers, but the senior staff. Again, it kind of played out in the episode, but there was nothing as part of the journalist's visit that was, overly comedic or overly interesting, really, from any really perspective at all, really. Sort of like I was waiting for some jokes to come in there with this journo following the crew around and everything, but nothing really kind of played out. We obviously see Mariner transferred to Starbase 80, which is the end of the Earth for most Starfleet officers, which is the place where nobody wants to be assigned to because it sounds like the worst posting in Starfleet. So we got a bit of a glimpse of the goings on Starbase 80, but it would have probably been interesting to see, Mariner's experience there, because obviously we didn't even get to see Mariner on Starbase 80 before we know it at the end of the episode. Obviously she's gone off with her archaeologist friend that they met at the convention where they had the stall at the front, and has gone off being Indiana Jones with her. But we sort of there was a bit of an opportunity, I thought, there to kind of play into some of the worst qualities of Starfleet and just let's see how bad this starbase really is. We saw them chasing a bat around like Dr. Phlox did on Enterprise, but that really wasn't that hideous. I guess a bit of a missed opportunity for a few jokes there. It was cool we got to see the Breen. We haven't seen the Breen for a while, not since Deep Space Nine. So yeah, it was, I guess, fun to see the Breen attacking the away party, and then obviously the big ship battle in orbit of In Orbit of Brecker. Would have been a good opportunity as an animated show to reveal what the Breen look like without their helmets on, which might be too complicated to do in live action form if they look like polar bears or something, but perfect for animation. So then obviously we get this Starfleet drone ship, the automated Texas class ship, basically saved the day for the Cerritos. It makes sense that Starfleet would have automated drones. I mean, the Air Force and the Army have drones, so it would make sense for that sort of technology to be around as part of Starfleet's bag of tricks. Nothing mind-blowing about this ship. I thought it was going to kind of turn out to be, I guess, like a new, an upgraded version of the Defiant class or something like that, perhaps. Nothing exciting as it could have been if the ship had have been captained by, I don't know, somebody we know or love from, one of the other, Starfleet franchises. If, I don't know, Harry Kim had been captaining it. Some opportunities for, some cool cameos or some harkbacks to other, Starfleet characters that could have been utilised there. But I'm guessing that this drone ship, the Texas class, will probably come into play again before we know it, and there's probably a reason why they've established it in this episode. So I guess we'll wait and find out and see what's going on that front. Cool to see Mariner's archaeologist friend obviously recruit her to go off and be part of the Archaeologists Guild or whatever it was that she was talking about when they were hosting that stall at the convention. Kind of knew that was going to, come back again this season. But look, overall, I didn't really find anything that mind-blowing in this episode. There wasn't really that many jokes that they come out with. We didn't really have any cameos or anything like that, and the story just sort of didn't really go anywhere too mind-blowing in this episode. So I would kind of class this episode as one of the weaker episodes this season so far, which is kind of disappointing because normally as we get towards the end of the season for Lower Decks, I find, generally the episodes kind of ramp up a little bit and they, maybe leave some of their big banger episodes for the last couple. So I was expecting something a lot bigger and more mind-blowing for this week's episode. So I kind of found it a little bit perhaps underwhelming. But let me know what you guys think. Leave your thoughts in the comments section. Let's discuss whether you liked or did not like this week's episode of Star Trek Lower Decks. Guys, as always, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Leave a like and a comment as you do, or leave a super thanks if you're able to. It really helps the channel out, much appreciated. Check out my other videos, and also, as I mentioned earlier, free shipping in the merch store until Sunday, so be sure to head over there and check out some of the new designs, heaps of new designs in the store. Grab yourself a t-shirt or something and get it shipped out for free. So take advantage of the bargain while it lasts. I'll be back soon with my next video. I'll catch you guys soon.